Hey everybody and welcome. Today we are going to make survival bread. Now I use that term because this recipe fulfills several important criterias in my opinion. Number one, all of the ingredients are shelf stable, so I don't have to worry about refrigerating eggs or milk or anything like that. No oven is required. I can cook this on one of my gas stove tops, so I don't have to worry about if I have electricity to use into an oven. It's fast to make. I really appreciate other recipes called blackout bread, where people are cooking bread in a Dutch oven over candles, but those take hours and hours and hours for them to bake. This is pretty quick to make. There's a rest period, but from start to finish, it should still be under 30 minutes to do. And most importantly, it's tasty. This actually tastes good, as opposed to something like hardtack, which is just a dry saltine cracker. Okay, let's get into it. We need 4 cups of regular flour. Something that I've learned that's very important about baking is to sift your flour. If you don't, your bread is going to end up being very, very, very dense and very hard to eat. You can use a flour sifter, or I just use a little vegetable sieve. Now, 4 teaspoons of baking powder. Interestingly enough, if you use self-rising flour, you don't need baking powder, because self-rising flour is just flour with baking powder in it. Now we're just going to mix up the dry ingredients. These two, just stir them just a little bit. We've got 1 cup of water. This is my secret ingredient, which is sweetened condensed milk. There's a difference between evaporated milk and condensed milk. Sweetened condensed milk actually has a little bit of sugar in it, which gives it some flavor. So we've got 1 cup, and I don't add any extra water to this. I just leave it how it is. It's about 85% of one of these cans. And 1 tablespoon of vegetable oil, which is just a glob. And finally, 1 teaspoon of salt. Now the mixture is pretty tough. It's got a consistency of peanut butter, so at some point you're going to have to use your hands, most likely. I'm not so much kneading as I am just combining it, because it's a pretty thick dough. All right, so now we're pretty well mixed up, so now we're just going to let this rest for 10 minutes, and then we're ready. All right, it's been 10 minutes, so now it's time to dump it out and roll out the dough. So you want to get this as thin as you can. We're looking about 1/4 inch. And then you cut it out into biscuit shapes. I just use a plastic cup. So now we've got some shapes cut out, it's time to fry them. All right, now we're ready to fry. So I'm going to use a really deep skillet with a lid. The lid is really important. And this is a butane camp stove. This happens to be a dual fuel, so we'll use either propane or butane. It runs on these little canisters. And you want it to be on a low to medium low heat. We're going to give this a couple of minutes to heat up. All right, so skillet's warm, so we just put the biscuits in on low heat for about 4 minutes per side. All right, so here we are, about 5 minutes out, and I flip them every 2 minutes or so. And let them cool down. And I can taste the sweetened condensed milk. I can taste the sweetness in the middle. Oh, there you have it. There's some easy, quick, tasty survival bread. So if you found this interesting, please give me a thumbs up and drop a comment down below. And thanks.